Testing, testing. Hello again. Welcome to another visit with Mr. V. We're here again at the Hollywood Heritage Museum for a little preview of their new exhibit going on now. Let's take a look. And time is of the essence if you're watching this video on my YouTube channel, because you have the opportunity to visit the Hollywood Heritage Museum for their closing event of Out with the Stars. It's all about Tiki. Get your tickets now. The link will be in the chat until the date has passed.
He would open restaurants, theme restaurants, and get bored really fast. So he started with the Pirates Den. He had it in Miami. He got bored. He moved to DC. He opened it in DC. And then in 1940, he moved it out to LA. And he was friends with Rudy Valley and a bunch of celebrities. So he got all these guys. So there's a little group of Rudy Valley, Bob Hope, Tony Martin, Ken Murray, Gary Cooper, Dorothy Lamour. He got all these people to invest in this, the Pirates Den. So that's so this guy Don Dickerson, he's kind of forgotten, but he just kept doing different restaurants. So he did like the Mermaid in Long Beach, and it was on La Brea and Beverly, where the Bob Hope Medical Center is now. So, and it only lasted for about 5 years. So the whole theme of the restaurant was this pirate tiki thing. So each night they would grab a couple of pretty beautiful women out of the crowd, and they would lock them in the brig, and they would all have to scream, and the best screamer would get a certificate for the best scream of the night.
Oh, how funny. You could never do something.
You couldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, right.
So,
no way, right? No way.
So in one of their back rooms, they had a rum bottle throwing room. So that's what those guys are all doing. They're all lining up to throw bottles across this room. So we have a bunch of pictures of like Gary Cooper and Ray Milland and a bunch of people throwing them. And what they were throwing them at, and I've not been able to find a good clear photo of it, was down at the other end of this room was Hitler, Hirohito, and Mussolini.
Wow.
Yeah, so you were actually going to, and they had cigarettes in their mouths, and you throw it and knock down the cigarettes, and then you got a free beer. Yeah.
We got to reopen this place.
I know. They borrowed a few pieces.
Can you tell me about the beachcomber?
Well, that was Don the Beachcomber over on McCadden
The
Place.
little one, yeah. I looked it up the other night because that seems so weirdly familiar to me.
Yeah.
When was it torn down?
The 80s.
Right?
It lasted into the 80s.
I'm old enough to have actually seen that place.
Yeah, and I think it was like 87, 88.
Yeah.
So, and he and his wife created the chain. So they had one in Hawaii. They had, a bunch of them all over the country. They got a divorce, and she kept, I forgot what she kept. I think she kept the Hawaiian ones. He kept the mainland ones. And then they eventually, after the divorce, they all just disappeared after a while.
Was this the first one, though?
That was the first one on McCadden Place. Okay. Yeah. So there was like three main tiki lines. You had Don the Beachcomber, and then you had Trader Vic. Yeah, no worries. So you had Don the Beachcomber, which was Don, and there's a documentary on him coming out. Premieres on Friday called The Dawn of Tiki, like D-O-N of Tiki.
Oh, awesome.
And then there's Trader Vic.
Right.
So, and Trader Vic's like that. Yeah, well, he was friends with Conrad Hilton. So whenever Conrad Hilton would be opening a new hotel, he would just call Vic and be like, do you want to open a space in my hotel? So they were tied with Hilton Hotels.
I saw the Benihana story the other night. He tried to do the same thing with Benihana.
Kind of the same thing. And then with Con Tiki, that is actually Stephen Crane, who had the Luau in Beverly Hills, and the Con Tiki was the Sheridan version of Trader Vic's. So there was actually a chain of Con Tikis. Right. There was actually one at the Sheridan, Waikiki Beach. They were like in Midwest, like all over the place. Yeah. So Sheridan had theirs, Hilton had theirs, and they just, as Tiki comes and goes out of favor, they just all disappeared. The Pirates Den is just a personal favorite because it's just a ridiculous
space. What's your favorite,
I just keep coming up with stuff from it. We keep finding things from it. And
what's your favorite piece in the cabinet?
Probably in the cabinet.
Yeah.
What I would absolutely love in this cabinet. That one I really love because it's Dorothy Lamour at the Tropics, and she's actually holding a napkin that says the Tropics, and you're just never going to see that.
Right.
And when I pulled that out, I could tell it was Tiki, and then I was like, holy crap, she's holding the napkin.
Yeah.
Like you're never, you get menus, you get an ashtray, but somebody actually holding a napkin.
Yeah, you got the connection.
That's one of those like blow away pieces that she's really there.
Neat. Neat. I like that. I don't know. That's my
Yeah, and that's Don Dickerson.
A menu.
Yeah, so that's a menu. So we tried to put, this one was just a basic black menu. That's from the DC location, and this one was from the Hollywood location. So we tried to have a fun cover, and then people like to look at the prices. So that's one of the things people always get blown away by, is looking at prices.
Some of those prices in there. Wow.
But yeah, there's some of the ladies locked in the brig, and that is Edgar Bergen.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and then you got Gary Cooper with his wife Rocky, with Dorothy Lamour dancing.
Don't let me get in the way of your shot. That's what we're here for. So if I'm in your way, take another one, please.
Recovering right now. It's just been.
Yeah, and then the curtains actually were screen worn for Mad Men. So when Don Draper went to Hawaii in season 7, he stayed at the Royal Hawaiian, which was a recreation of the Royal Hawaiian, and those were the curtains that were in his room.
And the chairs?
The chairs were just props.
Just props.
Yeah, and this big screaming thing too, that was also a prop that came from Oceanic Arts that you could rent for parties.
Oceanic Arts.
None of this is
so
authentic,
sad they're
is it?
closed.
These are all authentic. Yeah.
From?
Well, these are all from different. The thing with lighting is that
I meant they're
but they're
real.
they're vintage. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They can come from anywhere, and people can say that they do. But I know the 2 teardrops and the shell lamp all came from a Tiki Chinese bar in St. Louis, Missouri. So, and that one I'm not sure where it came from, but they all were either came through Oceanic Arts or a company called Orchids of Hawaii, and you would just get a catalog. So, they could have been moved around and reused at multiple Tiki.
They also made a lot of these at Oceanic Arts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they got to where they were making like the float is definitely from Oceanic Arts. The 2 fish are bought directly from Oceanic Arts, and then the other ones were from the Midwest.
That's my favorite, is the pufferfish lamps.
The pufferfish?
Yeah.
I know, and a lot of the Tiki bars.
And another curator here at the Hollywood Heritage Museum. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Darin Barnes.
Hi, Darin. Thank you so much. And this collection is, a lot of it's yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband and I have been collecting. He's much more the Tiki guy than I am, but he's been collecting for about 20 years. So, and we know a lot of people in the Tiki community. So being able to put this thing together has been an absolute dream.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a few Tiki friends that have come tonight, and I think we're going to do a couple of Tiki events around this exhibit as well.
Really? Oh, you're going to expand the Tiki. That's so cool, dude. Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me.
One of my favorites is this Trader Vic's menu. So Trader Vic's are always associated with Hilton hotels. So Conrad Hilton and Vic were good friends, and whenever Conrad was opening a new hotel, he would go to say, do you want to open a space here? So in 1958, he opened the Hilton Havana in Cuba. So, and it was open for 9 months when Cuba fell. Oh, wow. So Trader Vic himself was stuck with all these menus that he couldn't get across over to Cuba. So he had all these. So inside he wrote in his own handwriting, "No more fine Cuban rum since that stinker Fidel Castro took over." But even and I can't remember what they're at, but I think even we even had a lot of menus, and it was basically he just got stuck with a bunch of menus that were supposed to go to Cuba for that one.
Right.
So, and weirdly enough, that restaurant still exists. So when it fell, New Year's 1959 going into 1960, it's now called the Polynesia.
Yeah.
So it is a 1958-59 Trader Vic's, completely untouched by time, just with a different name.
It's still there.
Yeah, so you go
Have
into
you been?
Yeah, I've been. So
Wow.
went right before the pandemic, so about 6 years ago, and it was fantastic. And the waiter that we had, his father had actually been the maitre d' when it opened. So he brought out a stack of photos and a bunch of menus and a bunch of things. So, and that mug actually is their version of a Trader Vic's mug, and it's pretty primitive. And he said that they didn't sell them, but we ended up throwing a lot of money at him and buying a lot of stuff. So he gave us that mug. So that's probably one of the rarest Tiki mugs you're going to find in the world.
That's from
the Polynesia, which was Trader Vic's in Cuba.
So I'm going to get the history straight.
Yeah.
Is that a Trader Vic's mug, or it's a Polynesia mug?
It's a Polynesia mug,
right, but
it was a knockoff of a Trader
right.
Vic's. So it's just very.
So you had to have the souvenir.
So you had to have the
Sure.
souvenir. So and Cuba's still open to the rest of the world except for the United States. So if people are coming in from Canada or Europe or any place else, and you want to get a mug, that's their version of the Trader Vic's mug.
Gotcha. That's their souvenir.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go to Trader Vic's?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not really Trader Vic's. Was?
Yeah,
The Polynesia.
The Polynesia. So there's just a handful of original Trader Vic's left in the world. London was the last one that just closed, and it was 1962 or 63, if I remember correctly. And it closed like a year shy of its 60th anniversary. The world's oldest one is in Munich, and it's 1972.
It's still there?
And it's still there.
Oh, I should have seen it. I was in Munich.
You
Oh,
should
wow.
go. You
Oh,
should
wow.
definitely go. We went in August of last year, and it is a complete time warp. And it's the last one that's in Europe. So all of their Trader Vic's pieces, they have to have custom made there.
You hear that, Des? Next time we go to Europe.
See, you got to go. So you go
What
to
about-
Munich, and it's completely untouched by time.
What about the one here in LA? Where was that?
Well, that was at the Hilton in Beverly Hills.
Right. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I remember, didn't they have a big entrance on the corner?
Yeah,
right?
and it had the great big the A-frame
We'll try
and the
to
big
pop
logo.
a picture in here to show you what that looked like.
Yeah.
When did that one close?
That one closed about 15 years ago.
Right, that's
so
all.
it hasn't been too long ago.
Such a shame.
Now it's the Waldorf, I think.
Such a shame. This
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Let's jump subjects. What
Yeah.
what's of the restaurants in the room? Which one do you wish you could have gone to?
Oh God, probably Ciro's or Macombo or Trocadero.
That's
You
a
know?
big one.
Yeah,
Trocadero.
Trocadero, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the three, probably the most famous.
Yeah.
And the Coconut Grove.
Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah. I myself, I Ciro's. I don't know why.
Yeah. You just and Ciro's is still, the building is still there.
Right. It's
And you go in, the front door, and you go into their main room, and you're gonna actually see the swoop across the back wall and the lighting and all of it. Like
it's still there.
The skeleton of it is
It's
there.
the comedy
The comedy
store.
store? Comedy store, yeah.
Comedy store. You want to go see, again, these places are still here, but we don't get dressed up anymore, right? We don't.
No.
It's not a big event, and,
Yeah.
and we don't have the opportunity to sit next to Hedy Lamarr, you
Yeah.
know, or Shirley Temple, or Lucy, or who knows.
Yeah. And that was our thing when we were putting together this exhibit.
Right.
Was Out with the Stars. Is that nowadays there aren't really places that you're going to go to where you're going to see.
That's what I was
going
gonna
like
ask.
what restaurant are you going to go to where you're going to run into Nicole Kidman or Jennifer Lawrence
Right.
or Sandra Bullock or any actor or actress or Tom Cruise or whatever.
Yeah.
It's out there. There just isn't.
They don't.
Those kind of places.
Yeah.
But back in the day, that was part of their brands, was being seen at those top nightclubs. So you went to the Coconut Grove, and then the general public got to sit. So you see those.
It was like
those-
advertising, really.
Yeah.
You had to show yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was part of it. And now with social media too, that's really changed stuff.
It's true.
Back then you
Yeah.
would go and it was part of your job.
That was
to go
their
out.
social
Yeah,
media.
their social media.
Truly.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, my
for,
pleasure.
For talking to Darin, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for visiting the Hollywood Heritage Museum. Come see the exhibit.
Yes.
Out with the Stars.
Please do.
And remember to get your tickets to that amazing closing event of this amazing exhibit at the Hollywood Heritage Museum, Out with the Stars. It's Hollywood, the birthplace of Tiki, the history of the enchanted Tiki room at Disneyland, and Dawn Beach. We got a little bit in this video. Come get some more. Until the date has passed, the link will be in the chat. So I think that's it for now from the Hollywood Heritage Museum. We've been out with the stars tonight, so please, you come on down to the Hollywood Heritage as well and check out the new exhibit. It's pretty cool. Bye for now.